everyone, my name is Zeon. If you're watching this, you must be a remnant. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be documenting a commission that I am doing for Guardians MH and its owner, Average Joe. If you guys don't know what Guardians MH is, it's a non-profit organization supporting and making awareness to mental health in the gaming community, which I think is really amazing. He messaged me on Twitter asking for this ghost. It's going to be a very special type of ghost. So I figure we might as well go ahead, show you guys, do an updated video on how I do ghosts. It's a little bit different from when I did the Diaspora one a couple years ago. I got some new tools like bandsaw and a lot of things. You can see there's a bunch of stuff going on in the shop right now. I have 3 commissions currently that I'm working on. One is a female Saiyan armor. You'll see a video on that. I'm going to make a new template for that because I couldn't find one, which kind of surprised me. And I'm also doing a full set of Titan armor, like my lovely Titan that's hidden over here for someone, and I'll be documenting that a little bit as well. But I really wanted to show you guys this one in particular. I've done a lot of ghosts in the last couple years for people, but I wanted to do a video on this one because of the what it represents. And for me, it's important because I have like an acute social anxiety and mild depression, and I've had it since I was a kid, and I never realized it until I got older, and it kind of got worse. And then it made me realize that my father has anxiety, and it was weird because we never really talked about it. Like, my mom was always like, I was like, oh, my dad's driving me crazy. He just obsesses about everything. And my mom's just like, be patient. But we never actually, she never actually said like, oh, he has this, so you need to be patient. It was just like, that's how he was. And then when I got older and I was like going through my issues, then I realized like, my dad has the same issues. You know, it's very strange, you know, coming to that like realization. So I really support anything involving mental health. I think it's something that needs to be talked about, needs to be addressed, needs to be put in the open. A lot of people feel like, especially if they're older, or a lot of men feel like they don't want to talk about it, or I think you need to talk about it. Talk about it with those that are really close to you. This way they understand. So I think it's really important to talk about. It's really important, if you need help, to go ahead and ask for help. It doesn't matter who it's from. Go ahead, you need to ask for help. Guardians MH is doing a good thing. With that being said, let's go ahead and let's get to work. Alright, so for this ghost, we're going to be using the Sundance Ghost, which is Cade 6's ghost. I have a bunch of these. These, for whatever reason, were super cheap, so I bought a ton of them. Now, remember, these are vinyl ghosts, but these pieces up here actually are plastic. Push on them, like that. And that comes out, and nope, that worked. There we go. So we'll be putting a crown here. This is my little template for that. So we got our patterns traced out on these leftover pieces of plastic here. We have the top and the bottom, and I like using this like really thin cardboard for patterns. Paper patterns annoy me because they just don't last, in my opinion, and they just get crumpled up and everything. These I like, so I like to use these when possible. But we're going to take this over to the bandsaw. We're going to cut this out, and then we'll sand the edges down. Alright, so first piece is done. This, as you can see, the edges get a bit frayed with this type of plastic. And then take some of this sanding sponge here. And as you can see, just knocks that down. And we'll sand it some more. So there's that. And I just dropped it. Well, we got a couple more to go. We'll be back after we're done. This fits like that. And how does this one fit? Something like this. Wait. How do I not know this? I should know this. This is so embarrassing. There we go. That fits like that, for context. Now, next thing we need to do is Guardians MH requested a light, so we're going to go ahead and drill out the middle. To do that, I know last time I did this, I did it with my Dremel. Now, how I do this, one thing you definitely want to do is hold this ghost down, because if not, this ghost is going to start spinning like crazy. Alright, so we got the top layer of the eye. You can see it right here. I would suggest going layer by layer and just pushing this back out and off, and then just continuing until you get all through the layers, and then turn it over and do the same thing. Alright, there we go. Looks like we made it through all the layers. As you can see, it's starting to come out here. So this is what is inside. Then you're left with a hole through with a lot of flakes inside, so I have to go ahead and take a vacuum and clean this up a bit. Yeah, that's ready for a light to be inserted once this is all cleaned up. Oh, and in case anyone was wondering, the bit size I use, it's a 1 1/8. You could also use a 1-inch one, that would work too. But yeah, it just depends on how big the light is you're putting into it. So, and continuing on, we got our parts sanded down. We contact cemented them onto the ghost so that they will never come off. And in the meantime of working on this one, I got a commission for an Iron Banner one, and I think I've talked about this before. But I use a wood burner to burn in the iron tree. Both of these have something in common, which is why I kind of waited to do this. Both clients wanted custom bases. They wanted like a rocky texture style base, and I'm going to show you how I do that. Okay, so what I stumbled upon the last time I did this, when I made a Dead Ghost for Guardian Con, was I was working on a diorama, and I was using plaster of Paris, which you can get super cheap. And I mixed it in this cup, and I took what I needed, and then after, there was some material left, and it was around the interior of this this little bowl or soup. This is like I got this from a Chinese restaurant with wonton soup. I have a bunch of these, and it left like a curvature inside, so I kind of broke it out, and then I looked at it and I realized that this is the same circumference here. So what I was able to do was use those curved pieces and put them on the edges and fill it out, make it look like a nice little display. So that's what we're going to do with these two ghosts. I'm going to mix up some plaster of Paris. I'm going to kind of smear it so that it conforms to the edge here, and then let it dry. We'll crack it out, and then we'll use the pieces to make the base. I went ahead and I printed the logo for Guardians MH, and I taped it, and then I cut it out, and then I traced it on a piece of foam. So I have the foam here. This has been plasti dipped, and so this is going to go here. As I was looking at it, I was thinking what color I was going to do. I wanted to do something metallic like this, and I got an idea. What I'm going to do is on the fins, I'm going to do like a metal plating texture. I might even add some screws or some little holes, I'm not sure yet. But I want these to be like metal plates, and these are going to be silver. I'm thinking the body is going to be a glossy black, but on these areas, I'm going to have maybe little plated pieces of plastic, or maybe I'll keep doing the foam, I don't know. This way with the silver I can show the weathering, the distress. Alright, so we got the lines burned in. Like I said, I wanted to do like a metal plating type of design. What I'm going to do now is go ahead and cut some more pieces of plastic here, and I'm going to do just like little patchwork deals all over, and I might do a couple different things. I was looking at like Mecha Frieza from Dragon Ball Z when he comes back and he's all like androidified and stuff, for some inspiration. There's also a ghost in Destiny that's kind of like cobbled together a little bit. So I'm looking at a couple different things. Basically, I wanted this to look like as patchwork as possible. Use some old screws that I had from the entertainment center. These annoying square wood screws. And it's kind of just plated a bunch of stuff together. I used some of this leftover stuff, just so it looks like it's being held together. And I think this came out pretty cool. Once it's painted and everything, it'll look much better. I have a couple other ideas, but I'm gonna do that after I kind of get it painted. Like one of my ideas is this is gonna be like the brain area. So this is gonna go in. I cut this with the bandsaw, and then that wire is gonna kind of go into that hole. I got these wires. This is when I made the Siva Ghost back at GuardianCon last year. So I'm thinking this might like go here and connect, or go here to here or something. I don't know yet. So we got it painted in the gloss black, and now it kind of comes together a bit more. Although on camera, because of the flash, and the glossiness, it looks kind of weird. But in person, it looks great. So now I'm going to go ahead and start painting. We got silver rub and buff. We got some metallic gray and gunmetal, which is not the same thing. They're actually different colors, and I've used these before. If you guys saw my crossbow that I made from my Wasteland outfit, well, I guess you can't see it now because after like a year of having that video up, it got copyrighted for using the theme from 28 Days Later. So I'm gonna have to re-upload that apparently. But anyway, alright, so we're almost done with the base construction. I've added quite a lot to this thing. I did this here. This was made out of some plastic and that wire that you use to hang picture frames. So I just thought that would be cool. I found this like U-bracket type thing, and I hammered it out and screwed it into the back. Found this hinge that I had, so I put that there. And I think that covers everything. Thing is reflecting the light, right? You see that? But I think it gets the idea across that this thing is just barely holding together. And once I get the gloss coat on, I start weathering it a little bit more. And yes, it is going to get weathered a bit more. And have this kind of standing out. The idea of this ghost is basically, sometimes when you're dealing with things like mental health, sometimes it can feel like you're barely holding on, barely holding together. And it takes a lot. It takes a village, as they say. So the idea of this ghost is basically that he's been put back together from all these different types of sources and pieces and things. And he's all dirty and grunged up. But there's that little bit of hope shining through, and that's what the logo is here on the top. And that's the idea of this ghost that I want to get across, is it's okay to be, you know, held together and need help and ask for help and take things from where you can to keep yourself going, you know. Sometimes you need that and you need help. And I'm really enjoying making this ghost, not just because I've kind of gone all out and I'm just letting my creative juices flow and I'm just doing all kind of things, and I'm digging through box parts, and I'm like getting ideas, and but I feel very strongly that I wanted this ghost to be super unique. You know, I don't think I'll want to replicate this ghost for anyone else, but I want this ghost to be special. But we're almost done. I'm gonna seal this one more time with a gloss coat, start the weathering process on this, and the Iron Song. Yes, I'm watching Dark Side of the Ring because I love wrestling, as you guys know. Alright, so these are the bases for the two ghosts. Taking these bases from the stand is a real pain. Sometimes they easily come out from the base, and sometimes they come out from the ghost. They're glued in, so there's really no way to really, you know, do it one way or the other. You just kind of have to pull at them and twist them until something gives, and hope that you don't break something. So these are going to be the stands. This one on the Guardians MH Ghost, I'm going to do more cement. I have some cement effects spray paint that I'm going to use. And then this one is going to be more sand colored. And once those are done, we'll get the lights in and these will be finished. Alright, these both are officially done. I really like the way everything came out. The bases came out really awesome. Might be hard to tell, but the Bungie logo is in silver, and on this one the Bungie logo is gold. Painted them differently, wanted them some different looks, but the main thing that I did that helped a lot was using texture spray paint. I used different textures on this one and this one. I didn't even realize I had them. I bought them on sale at Michael's. I normally buy interesting paints on sale when I see them, because I might use them. And in this case, I ended up using them. So I'm really proud of these. I'm really happy to see these go to good homes. And I'll be seeing this Guardians MH one again at conventions when I see Mr. Average Joe. So he likes it, and I really like it too. So thank you guys for watching. Comment what you think of these ghosts. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more creative stuffs. And as always, Zeon.